Welcome, everybody, at this, I think it's the fourth edition of a series of BrightNet webinars. And today we would like to cover the topic of customer centricity and how to build growth through truly customer-focused strategies. As the title already said, unlock the power of customer centricity. I think there's a lot of power in customer centricity. During today's webinar, it will take about 45 minutes. We will go in more depth about customer centricity and how you can implement that within your organization. So why is it important? In today's competitive landscape, making sure that the customer is in the heart of your business is not just a nice to have, it's actually a necessity. Companies that embrace customer centricity strategies are not only enhancing customer satisfaction, but actually driving growth for their business. My name is Robert Blaas, and I will be your host for today's session. And with me, I have Jan van Nijen. We'll do a brief introduction in a minute. But as said, we will share a couple of insightful things with you. One, we will explain our view on customer centricity. Secondly, we will go in depth on how we can, as BrightNet, support your customer centricity. And then thirdly, we will show real life examples. So bear with us. We'll take about 45 minutes. There is room to ask questions. As said, with me is my colleague Jan van Nijen. We drive the marketing within BrightNet, and Jan is a very, as I would say, seasoned marketing strategist. Is specialized in translating company strategies into actionable marketing plans and go-to-market approaches. And with that, also has experience with customer centricity and making sure that it's all about the customer and how do you implement that in the organization. As said, my name is Robert Blaas. Been working for BrightNet for about 9 months. And before that, history in other IT companies like Kindi, Temberg, Cisco. And I'm really proud also to say that I did something with fitness equipment. So I already touched a little bit on it, but as said, we will have 3 main topics to explain to you. One, what is customer centricity? Then what we call the customer-centric layered approach. We have a particular view on customer centricity. As we're an IT company, we build IT solutions. We do have a particular view on the technology that needs to be, that you can use. And then thirdly, we'll show what we've been doing with 3 customers that are aligned with the customer-centric layered approach. So, and if you have any questions by the end, don't hesitate. You can use the chat. We will also follow up with an email. You can use the email address. You can send it to me. We'll definitely get back to you on your questions.
Okay, let's start off. Thank you, Robert, for the introduction. Customer centricity, what is it about? Well, in my and our opinion, it's about putting the impact of every decision, the impact on a customer of every decision that you make as a company at the heart of what you do. We often say, okay, customer is king. That's also a little bit exaggerated. You don't have to answer every query or every move of a customer, but putting your customer at the center of what you do and take the impact on the customer as into account in every decision that you take. That's really important to survive as a company. What does it then actually mean? It's about anticipating customer needs. I will explain it more in detail later on in the presentation, but I saw the biopic on BlackBerry on Netflix this weekend, and that's really a good example how they not anticipated customer needs and just stick to old technology and an old-fashioned way of doing it. It's about being easily accessible. I think we all once in our life had the frustration to try to contact an energy company, electricity or gas company. And then the process that it took to really get somebody, a human person on the line to explain your problem so they can fix it. It's also about having clear and transparent communication, even if the message is not so nice for the customer, make it. But the impact on the customer, even in communication, is really important. So even if the message is not so nice, or you can't help a customer, or it's not at his desired levels, then having a clear and transparent communication is crucial. It's also about understanding your customer. So that's a little bit in line with the BlackBerry example that I gave. Really understand your customer. Know why things are important for him. Know why he chose your product or solution. Know why he didn't choose the product or the solution of the competitors. And collect customer feedback. You can anticipate a lot of stuff, and then you realize, but you always need to do a check in does it really delivers the value that I had in mind for. So that's customer centricity in our approach.
Thank you, Jan. At the bottom, there is actually a small box with dots. Can you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I summed up some basic things, but there are a lot of more things that you can do to make your company more in line with your customer needs and putting the customer at the center of what you do. Okay, why is it important to focus on the needs of your customer and put them at the central place? Customer expectations are rising. It all needs to be quick, easy, cheap. The introduction of the web shops, let's take Zalando, completely changed how we think about customer experience and what we expect from a company. It's also important to increase your personal or your brand relationship with the customer, which leads to higher loyalty, because you can't be and the fastest and the cheapest and the best all at once. So if you have as a company or as a brand, a personal relationship with your customers, they will be loyal to you even if you do a mistake, or if your products are a little bit more expensive than the same or similar one from your competitors. It's also about being different with your competitors. Every brand needs to have a face, needs to have brand values, and focusing on the customer and put him or her central in what you do can really make the difference between you and your competitor. And at the end of the day, it's about increased revenue and profitability. If you sell more than your competitor or can do it at a higher price, yeah, that will be a great impact on your company. The previous slide was about the direct benefits of a customer-centric focus. There are also some indirect benefits. I'm not going to mention them all, but what's for me, for example, important is if you put the customer at the center of what you do, it will challenge the status quo in your company. You will take a look at your processes, at your technology, at the way how you approach customers in a different way. And it's always, I personally always like it to be better today than yesterday, and to be better tomorrow than today. And really having a focus on your customer and taking a look on everything that you do with your customer in mind will really challenge the status quo. Same thing counts for the technology that you use. If you put your customer at the middle of your decision, then you will also take another look at the technology that you will use to attack your customers. It gives you a new approach within a company. A little bit linked to what I said before. If you challenge the status quo, if you have a different mindset, yeah, then you will approach your customer in a different way. And also something nice, we all want to do innovations and all have every day a bright idea. But it's very good to limit your limitations, or to order your limitations based on the impact that it will have on your customers, and if it will really add true value to them. Then, okay, I'm now talking already 10 minutes about customer centricity, but is that then the only thing? No, it's not the only thing. We here took the principle, I think it was launched in the 90s or beginning of 2000, about how a company can make a difference. You can go for product leadership, or customer intimacy, or operational excellence. But we strongly believe that it will be a combination of those three things. You need to pick one where you want to have a 10 out of 10, but the other two that you then don't pick as a primary force needs to be at least a 7 or a 8 out of 10 in the current environment. So it's not only about customer centricity, but even trying to get a 7 or an 8 out of 10 on your customer intimacy level will help you a lot in doing your business. Okay, that was the first part. Now let's take a look at our customer-centric layered approach. We strongly believe that there are 3 layers in having a more customer-focused company. So the first layer is about business, having a business transformation mindset. I will explain more in the next slides. And the second layer, it's about technology, making sure that you have the right data, that your legacy systems, or the systems, your operating systems where you run on, is totally in line with future and current customer expectations. And it's about using then AI to go to the third layer, and that's building a more customer-focused company based on a data-driven experience. And then where the fun part begins, then really offer your customer a personalized experience. So it's really a layered approach. Important here is that it's not only a marketing thing or a sales thing or a CIO thing. A lot of key stakeholders are involved. If you really want to evolve with your company and take the next step in the customer-centric focus, everybody should be on board. It goes from compliance to the CEO, to the CIO, the COO, sales, marketing, and many more. Everybody, you can't do or you can't take the next step in your customer-centric approach if not everybody is aligned and everybody is involved. Okay, let's talk about the first layer. That's the company-wide business transformation. The goal there is really to align the culture, the processes, and the strategies around the customer needs across all operations. So it's really, it should be every day on the agenda of, for example, the CEO, to make sure that everybody is aligned on the customer-centric approach. A bad example on how not to do it is United Airlines. In 2017, a video went viral where a doctor was pulled out of an airplane of United Airlines based on the fact that the plane was overbooked and that there was no place for him. United Airlines always positioned themselves as not the most cheap airline, but really the one with a personal approach. So they really went for the customer intimacy approach. But not everybody within the company was aligned on that, because customer care was maybe customer focused, but finance decided based on the data, okay, we have for every plane, we have 1 or 2 people who do not show up. And if we want to maximize our profit, we're gonna allow some overbooking of 1 or 2 persons, and then we will fix it when a problem occurred. And that's here where and that's why the video went viral, and you can position yourself as a customer-focused company, but then in effect, because not everybody in the company is aligned, that is the approach, it can backfire very quickly to watch. Okay, when everybody is on board within the company and everybody knows what the focus is, then let's take a look at data, legacy modernization, and AI, what we call the second layer. First element of the second layer is to have centralized data, and that's about having one single source of truth for all customer information. As an example, I mentioned here BNP Paribas Fortis. It's the company where my wife works, so she won't be happy with this example. But I'm a customer, and I'm a customer alone as a person. I'm a customer with my company. I'm a customer together with my wife. And they are not able to, if they do a promotion action or a marketing action, they send me the same information twice or threefold. So they don't have a centralized database. They have not one single source of truth where they combine all the info of a customer. No, it's a mix of different databases. They don't have a clear view on who I am as a person or as a company owner, and they see that those as two completely separate things, which as an effect, often it happens often that I receive the same marketing message 2 or 3 times in my mailbox. Second layer, or the second element of the second layer, is about legacy modernization. In every company, there is some legacy coding or some legacy systems, and that's for a reason. It's because it's, first of all, it's stable, it's at the heart of the company. So if you would change it, it would be a dramatic change with consequences that are not yet to be foreseen. And let's take, for example, I worked in a company, and I believe there are still a lot of companies where AS400 is still the driving force of all systems. The problem with that, with the legacy coding, is that it's often not focused on your customer or not focused on the current and future customer needs of your customer, and that can become a real problem. In the beginning, I said, yeah, I saw the biopic of BlackBerry. So BlackBerry was one moment in time, they had 40 to 50% of the smartphone business into their hands, but they failed to understand the future customer needs. They made incremental improvements, but they never changed their operation system. And then, yeah, once if a competitor like Apple comes with not only a phone where you can type emails, but where you can take a look at videos, where you can listen to your music, where there's no keyboard anymore, but the screen becomes bigger, then it really becomes a problem. And with the example, and Nokia did the same. I had the same problem with those 2 examples into mind. If you don't adapt to current or future needs of your customer, you are deemed to fail as a company. Then the third element of the second layer, you have one single source of data. Your operation system is adapted to future and current customer needs. Then you can start using AI to really have a customer focus. With the breakthrough of AI, the last 1 year, 1.5 years, there are incredible things possible. Also, a classic example in this case is Lemonade. It's an Australian insurance company, which recently launched a chatbot gym, which can help you through the process of introducing a claim to an insurance company, an insurance claim, to having an acceptance of the claim, and the fact that they will pay you out. They can fix that in 3 minutes. If I call to my insurance company, I will be happy if they pick up the phone in 3 minutes, and if I can explain my problem in the first 3 minutes when I take my call. So that's really how you can use AI to improve your customer experience. Okay, we talked about the fact that the whole company should be committed to customer-centric approach. Then we talked about the second layer, the importance of having one single source of data, making sure that your legacy coding and operation system are fit to current and future needs of your customers, and then the role that AI can play to help you doing your business and improving your customer experience. And then we come to the third layer, the data-driven experience and a personalized experience. First, the data-driven experience based on the second layer, data, AI, you can really give your customer the experience that you pick something especially for him or her. I talked about the fact that I watched this weekend the biopic on BlackBerry, and it was because Netflix, based on my data on what I watch on Netflix, based on the data that they have about me, thought, oh, that could be an interesting movie for Jan. So it was put at really at the top of the screen when I logged into Netflix. I didn't have to search it. I said, oh yeah, that's an interesting topic. Let's take a look at that movie. So that's really the way how Netflix uses your data and the actions that you did, and combine it with AI to give you personal experience, or at least pick the things that they think based on their system, what you would really like. And then when you have done that, then the fun really begins. Then you can give your customer personalized experience. So we strongly believe in the fact that you can use your systems and your data to give them an experience fit to their needs. But then the time that is free when you do all those steps, then you can really make the difference with a personal touch, and that's where we as humans make our difference. Good example are the luxury hotels, the Ritz-Carlton, for example. If you visit them, you are assigned a personal butler, not a chatbot, but really personal butler who will help you with everything and who will make the difference. And the cool thing is that people even want to pay for that personal experience. So that's really the last step in managing your customer-centric focus.
Okay, thank you, Jan, for the clear explanation. I think it's good to understand one, what is customer centricity and what the importance of customer centricity is, and then also based on that, what we think is a customer centric approach. And again, we're a technology company. We can't help you open the door for the customer, but at least we can help you build that customer-centric technology stack, and what's the role of the different components. And Jan explained that for us there are three components. One is data, second is legacy modernization, which is sort of contradiction, but it is definitely a crucial thing. And then the third thing is, based on that, you can start implementing AI. And Jan also spoke about keep on innovating yourself, and that's the way we look at it. What I now would like to do is, we have three real-world cases, so BrightNet customers that we want to share with you based on these three technology stacks or building blocks, whatever we call it, to show you how we approach that, what the challenge was of the customer, but then also what's the solution and what's the result. So the first one we would like to share with you is a large insurance company. I think they have offices in probably all European countries for sure. And one of the biggest challenges they had is that they were lacking data management. And when they came to us, they said, yeah, we have multiple data sources. They're not interconnected, meaning we have information A about customer B and information C about the same customer, and it's contradicting, but it's also not providing that one, as Jan called it, central source of truth for any action you would like to take, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's finance. So it was really difficult to get that one view, that 360 view of the customer. Secondly, and that's, I think, what is also becoming more and more important, we had the GDPR law, we now get the Data Act law that's being implemented by September this year. We need to be compliant with those laws. And if you have multiple sources of data, I can tell you, and I've been there, and I think we've, as seasoned marketing managers and data managers, we've also seen that there's contradicting information in there, meaning you're not complying with local laws, international laws, etc. So that was the second challenge. And the third challenge is they wanted to make a flexible system that was future-proof, but also integrated the different data sources into one customer view. So the solution we built for them, it's called, we call it the Central Customer Database. Very straightforward, very simple, but what it actually offered at that moment is that 360 customer view on that one contact. So whatever they do, whoever they want to talk to, or whoever reaches out to that person, whether it's, as I said, sales, marketing, finance, customer support, they have that one view on the customer, and there's no debate on whether it's true or not. So I think that's really one of the better things in this case. Then we built an integration with one CRM system, in this case, Salesforce. Again, building that one source of truth and making sure that also from a user perspective, internally, productivity and flexibility and efficiency also increases. And as I said, being compliant with all the international and local laws was also a requirement. We implemented a system that has anti-money laundering capabilities, making sure that we adhere to the laws. The result of that is that the information and the data is more secure, it's richer, it's more insightful, and it provides that really 360 degree view on the customer. And it also fits their needs. And as Jan said at the beginning, it's about the customer. The customer is in the middle of it, and he or she has certain demands. And with this system, we've been able to fulfill that. It's cost saving. It's a lot easier to maintain. And also mentioned by Jan, it's future proof. So it's not something that's built for today. No, it's something built for today, but for tomorrow and the day after, and easy to manage and maintain. And so going back to the 3 building blocks, this was for us the data building block. The second building block that Jan mentioned in the customer-centric approach was legacy modernization. Is this really a customer-centric legacy modernization AirCap? You can have a debate about that, but what they actually wanted, based on some requirements, they said, yeah, we want to modernize the IT infrastructure, make sure that their strategy is merging with other companies, and other companies don't have the same IT system, don't have the same data structure, don't have the same UX, UI. So what they want to do is build a flexible system, an IT infrastructure that they can easily add new companies on, integrate the data, integrate the UX, the UI, and create that one simple, straightforward experience for the people. So they had a couple of challenges. One, to make sure that they could keep on modernizing their IT environment. Secondly, data management was really important for them, even though if you hear about the number of planes they own and they lease, it's not far by what car companies do. It's about, I think, 70,000 airplanes, but still they want to have good data about the planes, good maintenance, cost, etc. Again, as I said, for them it was really important to be really flexible. Their strategy is merge, acquire other companies, and give them a smooth integration. For that, you need a scalable system that is flexible and is very efficient. And again, also from their end, compliance was important. So again, the data need to be structured in a certain way. Conflicting data needed to be avoided and create that one source of truth. So what we actually did, and we did a couple of things with them. First, very simple, very straightforward, and we delivered hands and knowledge to build that IT operations system with them. With that, we started to build a scalable service model. And so they could very flexible when needed, build upon the system they currently had and extend that and make it future-proof. We delivered experts for the different technologies challenges they had. So we gave them, and don't ask me technically, but we gave them knowledge about Microsoft databases, Salesforce integration, etc. We provided those. And at the end, the result was that we were able to improve and operationalize the data management. That was the first thing. Then secondly, we, as I said, for them, it was really important to build that one common system that everybody was able to use from a user experience, but also from an interface experience. We were able to increase the performance of the system, but also the scalability. As mentioned at the start, for them, scalability was really key. It's not something for today, it's something for tomorrow, next week, the month after. And that's the last point. It's about growing their core business while making sure that the IT system was running smoothly. The focus was growing their business and making sure that the systems kept on running in a very straightforward, easy way. So again, as said by Jan, we focus on 3 areas when we try to build from a technology perspective the customer-centric approach. For us, data is important. Then the second thing, making sure that your IT infrastructure and all the systems you use is future-proof, so legacy modernization. And then the third layer we talk about is when you have built that, you're ready for AI. And we have one, I will always say, very cool example. We can't unfortunately mention the customer name, but those people from Poland or people that have been in Poland before, they will recognize this. It's one of the major Polish retail chains. They have stores, I think, around every corner. When I'm in Warsaw and I take a walk for 5 to 10 minutes, I think I see 5 or 10 of these small stores. And that is also the biggest challenge they have. It's not a big store with a lot of storage, etc. In a lot of the cases, these are small stores with small storage areas, but they still want to make sure that with that they can deliver what the customer is asking for. And what we actually built with them is a system that can deliver very quickly and very smoothly what is needed on a certain day at a certain time for meeting the customer needs. So for them, there were a couple of things that were important. One, we needed to be able to help them cut costs because they were coping with low margins, as probably all food chains currently do, but they wanted to make sure that they could deliver, but in a very cost-efficient way. Then what you also see is that the demand of the customer, again, make the customer in the middle of your model, in this case, the retail chain, the demand is changing based on, as I said, weather, events taking place, time of the day. In the morning, people buy different things than in the afternoon or in the evening. And when you're close by a stadium, the demand is even different. So that was really important. And with that, there is also a big uncertainty in the demand, and also, okay, but how do we forecast what the demand will be? And as I said, because all these shops are really small shops, there is limited storage. So what they deliver to the shops needs to be spot on for a certain time of the day or day in the week or in a month or whatever. So what we actually built for them based on AI is a predictive, let's call it stock allocation system. And very simple setup. People try to explain it to me, but take into account that the shop is nearby a stadium, and it's a football match. And with that, you already know you need to supply beer, you need to supply chips. It needs to be there at least 3 hours before the game starts, and you need to have enough. Now, with the algorithm we built together with them, the AI algorithm, we've been able to do that sales forecasting based on learning of what is the buying pattern of people. And with that, we've been able to do proper forecasting, and not us, but the customer, of course, and that's and be able to deliver on demand and meet again the customer requirements. Again, put your customer in the middle, understand his or her needs, and based on buying patterns, behavior, weather, events, you can start predicting what people actually need and start supplying the shops with the right materials. The result of that is that we've been able to operationalize or make the operation more efficient. And at the end, as I said, the key challenges were business challenges, make the business more profitable. We've been able to meet that. And so we increased sales by 16% because what was needed was also available in the store. So there were no empty shelves. That is one thing. Then the availability of the assortment in the shop increased because the chain really understood what was needed on certain days. They could based on that they could predict, they could deliver, and availability increased with 5 points. It started at 91%. It ended at 96%, which is a huge step forward. And with that, because the retail chain knew what was needed at certain days, excess, meaning overstock, was not there anymore, and stock that needed to be thrown away was also not there anymore. It's still there. In some cases, people don't buy the oranges you put in the shelf, but still the accuracy of what was needed in the shop was a lot better. So again, the 3 building blocks, structured data, legacy modernization, and then AI as the layer on top will create that technology stack for a customer-centric approach. So I would like to wrap up here, and with that, I would like to summarize a little bit what we've been talking about. So Jan already mentioned it, customer centricity, is a company-wide strategy. Everybody, even from the people that deliver the post to the people at the reception, to the CEO, everybody needs to be involved and breed customer centricity. That is the first thing. Then you need to have that full leadership commitment. They need to push it, they need to drive it, they need to own it, but at the end of the day, they also change the DNA, the culture of the organization. If they don't take the first step, I won't say it's filled or doomed to fail, for sure not, but it is a crucial thing. And then, as I said, Brightnet is a technology company. We can't help you with customer centricity in your shop, but at least we can build that technology stack built on the 3 layers. So structured data, make sure that you have that one view on the customer, the one source of truth also for the different departments that need to work with the data. Then make sure that your system that you're using is future-proof. So legacy modernization. And with that, if the data is correct and you have modernized your IT infrastructure, the power of AI is definitely there. And that's the third area that Brightnet is specialized in. So for now, if you have any questions, do raise your hand. If you don't have any questions, I do have a question for Jan. Jan, from your point of view, what is the most important thing?
Oh, the most important thing, it's a good question. We talked about the data-driven experience, about the personalized experience, about the technology that is needed for that. But I think the most important thing and the first step is to, as a company, decide what kind of level of customer-centric company you want to be. And then if that is decided, that it's driven by everybody, like you said, Robert, that it's driven from the top to the bottom, from finance to marketing, from sales to operation. I think that's really the key of being successful in a new customer-centric approach. And then as a next step, then it's taking a look at the technology stack to support you in it, and then build your experiences based on that.
Okay, thank you. Not sure whether you have any questions for me, as I'm also part of the...
I'm always intrigued by the AirCap example, because it's a good example on how we as a company help AirCap in modernizing their legacy coding. Is there, if I as a viewer want to know more about it, how can I perceive it, for example?
Yeah, very good question. I think we're a very transparent, open company if it's about communication. So as said, on the website, there is a contact form. That's one you can use. There is an info address, and you can even we will follow up with the recording of the webinar. There will be my email address in that case. You can reach out to both myself, but also to Jan via LinkedIn. So don't hesitate to, if you have a question, to contact us directly. We'll either answer ourselves or point you definitely in the right direction. But there is more information about the 3 cases we mentioned on our website. So the retail chain is there. As said, you will recognize it when you're Polish. Generali is there. AirCap is there with a lot more information than I've been able to share with you in this webinar. With that, I would like to thank you for attending, and we'll keep you updated on any next steps or webinars that will come. Keep a close eye on the website, the emails and the newsletters we share with you. And I would like to thank you and wish you a very good